Welcome to the AI for Career Success podcast by Curt Robbins. We're experts at AI coaching and helping professionals like you and your employees upskill in AI.
And I am Daphne Blake. It is so fantastic to be here today.
I'm Fred Jones, and Daphne, I cannot believe it, but this is actually episode 200.
200, I mean, that is just wild, Fred.
It really is. And for such a big milestone, we are looking at how major legacy companies are using AI. And we are talking about using it not just as some fun buzzword, but as a literal lifeline for survival.
Right, because for some of these older brands, it's basically adapt or die at this point.
Exactly. And today's case study is Target. They are throwing $6 billion at a massive turnaround plan.
Yeah, 6 billion is definitely not pocket change. And, our primary source today really digs into this. It's an article by Emma W. Thorne titled, Target Puts AI at the Center of Its $6 billion Turnaround Push.
Okay, and where was that one published?
It was published on the media outlet LinkedIn on March 16th, 2026. And Thorne actually highlights this really fascinating interview from the Wall Street Journal by Isabelle Bousquet. She sat down with Target's Chief Information and Product Officer, Prat Vemana.
Right. So our mission today is to help you, our listener, understand how AI is actually deployed in a retail turnaround of this massive scale.
Yeah, we're going to look at the real differences between, basic forecasting and AI trend spotting.
And ultimately, we have to ask if technology can truly fix a fundamental brand problem. But before we look at that $6 billion tech investment, we really have to look at why they need it in the first place.
Oh, absolutely. Turnarounds do not start with code, right? They start with acknowledging reality.
Exactly. And Ken Lauer actually pointed this out perfectly in a post he published on LinkedIn.
What did he say?
Well, he noted that after 3 years of declining sales, Target's new CEO, Michael Fiddelke, held an investor day. And he did something incredibly rare.
Rare for a corporate executive, you mean?
Yes. Instead of hiding behind, polished corporate speak to gloss over the bad quarters, he laid out a $2 billion rebuild plan by explicitly naming their failures.
Wow. So he just aired the laundry.
He did. He admitted they had messy stores, high prices, and unexciting merchandise. Ken actually compared this to Elliott Hill at Nike, when he abandoned their failed direct-to-consumer bet.
That is a great comparison. And actually, in that same thread, Karina Well, she works in e-commerce and product management, she left a really insightful comment.
Oh, what was her take?
Said that the best companies diagnose problems quickly without assigning blame. She said that half of success is simply honesty and resilience.
It makes total sense. It makes me think of using a GPS.
How so?
Well, you can have the most advanced satellite navigation system in your car. Cannot route a path to a new destination until you admit exactly where you are currently standing, even if you have to admit you are completely lost. But Daphne, I have to ask you from an expert perspective. When CEOs do this public vulnerability tour, I usually assume it's just PR. Is this honesty actually a prerequisite for a successful AI integration?
It absolutely is a prerequisite, Fred. Without those exact, unvarnished coordinates, Fiddelke would just be telling his AI teams to optimize all the wrong metrics.
Oh, that makes sense. Like optimizing for vanity numbers.
Exactly. If leadership pretends a failure is just a minor bump in the road, the engineers build data models based on that lie. By publicly naming the operational failures, Fiddelke gives Prat Vemana the mandate to actually fix the root rot.
Okay, so Target admitted their merchandise is unexciting. How is Vemana using AI to physically fix that? Because just saying you've lost your edge doesn't, write the code to make you cool again.
Very true. Well, Emma W. Thorne's article breaks down two massive AI initiatives that Vemana is spearheading. The first one is something they call Target Trend Brain.
Trend Brain. Okay, what does that do?
So instead of human designers endlessly scrolling social media hoping they spot a cultural shift, Trend Brain uses computer vision and natural language processing.
To do what exactly?
It actively scrapes high fashion runways and social media platforms to identify recurring visual patterns, color palettes, and fabrics.
Oh, wow. So it's essentially automating the inspiration phase of design.
More than just inspiration, actually. It synthesizes all that massive cultural data to generate initial design versions, so it spits out a conceptual mock-up which drastically reduces the time to market for trendy products.
That is pretty wild. What was the second initiative?
The second one tackles the supply chain with advanced forecasting algorithms. Target's AI is already great at predicting static year-round demand.
Right, like knowing precisely how many boxes of Cheerios they will sell in November.
Exactly. But seasonal or highly trendy items, they break those old historical models. So this new tech aims to eliminate out-of-stock frustrations for the absolute hottest items by analyzing real-time trend velocity.
Okay, I understand predicting the Cheerios, Daphne, but I really have to push back on this trend brain concept.
Okay, let's hear it.
AI, by its very nature, is trained on historical data. It is fantastic at spotting what is already trending.
Right.
So, if Target's AI is just scraping the exact same social media data as every other fast fashion retailer, doesn't that risk making Target's merchandise look identical to everyone else's? Doesn't that destroy their unique appeal?
That is a very valid point, Fred. And it's the primary danger of over-relying on AI in creative fields. If you use an algorithm to just find the average of current trends, you just get the most generic product possible.
Exactly. So how do they avoid that?
Pratt Vimana is banking on Trend Brain acting as a co-pilot, not an autopilot. It gives human designers a massive computational head start, but those designers still have to inject that specific, quirky Target aesthetic into the baseline design.
Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Stick around, we will be right back.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Career Success podcast, where we help you get smarter than your competition by coaching you in AI.
So Fred, before the break, we established how Target is using AI to get trendy items designed faster and keeping them in stock.
Right, but here's the next logical hurdle. Target has the trendy items, and they are sitting perfectly on the warehouse shelf. How do they actually get you, the listener, to buy them in a crowded digital landscape?
Well, this brings us to a major shift toward what is called agentic commerce.
Agentic commerce, what is that?
Thorne's article highlights this as a big investment area. Target is building integrations that allow shoppers to purchase products directly via OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Gemini app.
Wait, so they're investing in ChatGPT ads?
Yes, and direct API backend integration. So we aren't just talking about a customer service chatbot. The AI agent essentially becomes the storefront.
Oh, I see. So I tell ChatGPT, I am hosting a summer barbecue,
Yep.
and it just buys the napkins and plates for me.
Exactly. It curates the items and completes the transaction through Target's backend. It is incredibly frictionless.
It is frictionless, sure. But is that the actual solution to Target's specific problem? Tom Nowak made a really compelling argument about this. He anchored his thoughts around an article from the media outlet Modern Retail. The article was titled, "Target Makes the Case for How It Will Reclaim Its Merchandising Authority at Annual Investor Day."
Right. Nowak's critique really hits the nail on the head regarding the limitations of this tech.
Walk us through his argument.
He points out that AI tools like CRM, personalization, and this agentic commerce we just talked about, they are precision tools. They are incredibly efficient at capturing shoppers who are already in the purchasing funnel.
But Nowak argues that Target's real issue is they need a bigger funnel to begin with.
Precisely. Nowak says they need brand fame. It's that cultural resonance that originally made people jokingly call the store Target. Brand fame drives traffic and creates a competitive moat.
So efficiency alone cannot replicate brand fame.
No, it can't. Target used to understand this better than anyone.
It's like having the world's most technologically advanced fishing net. Agentic commerce is flawless at catching fish once they're right next to the boat.
That's a good way to put it.
But if you are casting that billion-dollar net into a shrinking pond, you are still not going to catch enough fish to survive. Target needs to fill the pond back up. So, Daphne, can AI actually be used to build brand fame, or is that magic strictly a human endeavor?
AI is currently a tool of optimization, Fred. It is not a tool of cultural creation. An algorithm can identify who will click on a quirky ad, sure.
But it can't come up with the quirkiness itself.
Exactly. The human insight that makes a brand feel culturally relevant or funny still requires a human spark. Brand fame is rooted in emotional connection. You can use AI to deliver the emotion efficiently, but you can't use AI to feel it for you.
So Target cannot just impute its way back to being cool.
They really can't. And that actually leads me to a final, somewhat provocative thought I want to leave you, our listeners, with today.
Oh, what is that?
Well, we just talked about agentic commerce, right? An incredible efficiency of asking ChatGPT to buy your paper towels for you.
Right.
But part of the historical, highly profitable magic of Target was the famous Target effect. You walk into the physical store just needing a tube of toothpaste, and you somehow walk out with $150 worth of decorative pillow.
Oh, I have absolutely been a victim of the Target effect.
We all have. It relies on wandering, discovery, and aesthetic impulse. But think about it. If we rely on ChatGPT to efficiently buy exactly what is on our list, does AI inherently destroy the profitable magic of the impulse buy?
Wow.
Yeah. If absolute efficiency is the goal of AI, it might just optimize the serendipity right out of the shopping experience.
Thank you for listening to the AI for Career Success podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Please buy us a coffee and remember that we're experts at coaching you and your employees about AI. We'll see you next time.